Political vigilante. Bum bum. Let's put the graphic up there. Yes. You're great again. I've talked a lot about Jeffrey Epstein on the show. I have an entire Epstein playlist. Please check it out. One of the people that I've had on the show numerous times to talk about it is Whitney Webb, who has done fantastic work. She did a lot of stories on it with Mint Press, which is wonderful. Now she's working for Last American Vagabond. And she played a interview with Maria Farmer, who is an Epstein survivor, and she's done clips of it, and she's also released the whole 3-some-hour interview online in full transparency. Maria Farmer, who watches the show and follows me online, and has talked about how there's really only 30 Epstein victims have actually come forward, and a lot of women have been missing. And one of the things she talked about in her phone conversation, I'm going to play that for you in a sec, is how Vicky Ward, the big Vanity Fair journalist, you know, she's been, oh boy, she's done all this Epstein work. And what Maria talks about in this is how Vicky Ward's part of the ruling class, the pedophile, billionaire, sex trafficking elite uses people like Vicky Ward to do their bidding, to shape the story in the media. And that's one of the things Maria Farmer said to Whitney. And you're going to hear it in a sec. Vicky Ward is not some hero. She's evil. And she sold out Maria Farmer, and she just did it for her own personal gain. And she hung out with Ghislaine Maxwell. So she deliberately, because Maria Farmer said that she came forward years ago and said, I would tell the press and I would only see like 5 or 10% of my story told. That's how they couched it. And I talked about this last summer when Epstein got arrested. I said, watch how the media covers this. And I go, he's going to die in prison, and they're going to make it seem like a bungled thing. And then they're going to waste all this time talking about all this other nonsense. They're not, it's all a distraction to not talk about his black book, basically. What happened? When he denied him bail, I said they're going to kill him in jail. They released, I think it was August 9th, released the 2,000 documents from the Virginia Roberts deposition in that case. The next day, he hung himself with a paper t-shirt. The video footage, boy, it's been lost. The only 2 people charged to date are the guards who were like, oh, they were online buying stuff, zoinks. I told you, and this is how they're shaping the message, and this is what Maria is talking about. So I'm going to bring this is a phone conversation with Whitney Webb.
With him, no one ever says anything to us. Then, but before all that, I was already in hiding because of Vanity Fair. Vicky Ward is, I'm going to tell you right now, she's a monster.
She just said Vicky Ward is a monster. I was in hiding because of Vanity Fair. That's what she just said. That's what she just said. So, all right.
She's a true monster. She's not a hero. We had to send a cease and desist letter because she's harassed my family for so long to try to save her face, because she told Ghislaine Maxwell over drinks that I reported them to the FBI.
Did you hear that? That was Maria Farmer talking, saying Vicky Ward told Ghislaine Maxwell over drinks that Maria Farmer reported them to the FBI. Maria Farmer came forward in 1996, and the FBI, at the head of the FBI at the time was, forget his first name, his last name is Free, F-R-E-E-H. She said the FBI was worse. Vicky Ward had drinks with Ghislaine Maxwell. That's why they tried to tell us this over the summer. Oh, Epstein was like the lone weirdo creep. Oh, and he hung himself. Well, the story's over. No more talk about it. William Barr, who's had ties to Epstein for years, appointed by Trump, has prosecuted nobody. Acosta, another Trump guy, Acosta was the guy that gave Epstein the sweetheart deal when he was arrested for being a pedophile in 2009 in Florida. This is how they do it. They get someone planted, and we talked about this, the out of shadows doc. This is Operation Mockingbird. This is how they control the whole narrative. Epstein had ties to the CIA and Mossad. Vicky Ward is no hero. She's been paraded around as some sort of hero calling out evil Epstein. She's part of it. She helps cover it up and shape the narrative. There's no talk of Ghislaine Maxwell and how awful and evil she was. Ghislaine Maxwell is a pedophile and a sex trafficker, but Vicky Ward had drinks with her and ratted out one of her sources, Maria Farmer.
Can you believe that?
Holy shit.
And so this was in 2002.
But wow.
In 2000, no, please, I cursed my head off. I cursed my head off. So I'm sorry if I do. But
no,
yeah,
it's fine.
I've been through enough. I'm going to curse.
I noticed that she started following me on Twitter after my series, and I was like, that's interesting. I've cited some of her reports just because a lot of people don't, they don't really, well, I don't know. I thought I might get a hit piece or something. But sometimes I get people, mainstream people, following me, I guess, after the Epstein stuff. I guess they know I was saying stuff. But yeah, the pictures of Vicky Ward and Ghislaine have definitely gone around. I think a lot of people have seen them now. But you kind of have to rely on these mainstream sources from back then, because otherwise no one will believe you.
I know.
Which sucks, but...
I know. It's so sad, yeah. It's sad because, well, I was going to just tell you just a short thing on Vicky. She, for a year, promised us our safety. For a whole year. And, see, I didn't meet with Graydon. I met with Vicky. And so Vicky's the one that's responsible here because she was the person who promised us our safety, and she promised us that she would protect the story, right? Since then, she calls and threatens, I own your story. I can write your story. I mean, she's a real piece of work. Vicky Ward cares about one person, and that's Vicky Ward. She had CNN sending me hate mail and threat letters if I wouldn't interview with her. And so my lawyers had to send CNN and Vicky Ward a cease and desist because of her hate. She was calling my mom, making her cry, like harassing my mother for years. We're not talking for but it was only when it was in style to report on it.
I just can't believe
so
all the
she
things
tried
that
to make
people
herself
like you have gone through. I just, oh my gosh, I just can't even imagine.
It's
living
so
this.
Gross. It's so gross.
Wow.
It's so gross when people like Vicky Ward try to get accolades and they're really abusers. All I wanted to tell you about her, just because it's an important part of the story, is that my whole family interviewed with her, and it took us a year. Finally, my dad flies out. We all interview with her. We're sitting there, we give her the story, and then she calls and says, and I give her 3 sources. No one ever admits that. 3 sources, but they weren't just sources. They were billionaires and a famous artist. So 2 billionaires who don't want to lose anything, right? Very selfish people. They're billionaires, but they're willing to vouch for me. And they said, no, we'll absolutely vouch for Maria Farmer and Eric Fischel. And they all vouched for me. My story they knew because I had called them from the estate of Les Wexner. But here's the problem with Vicky Ward. Vicky Ward, she goes up to my lawyer in court and says, I know it's awful what I've done to Maria, but, I'm a kept woman, and I need to live in a certain style, and my boyfriend keeps me in my clothes in Bergdorf's. My lawyer's about to throw up on her. He's like, what is this guy? What is she talking? Anyway, it ends up, she lived with Les Wexner's buddy, and I don't know what his name is, but he was Paula Zahn's wife, and he's a billionaire who was best friends with Les Wexner, and she lived with him for the last 20 years. And in absolute comfort and luxury.
So she just said, Vicky Ward has lived with Les Wexner's buddy for the last 20 years. Do you see? It's all connected. So Vicky Ward is not some journalist trying to get the story. She's put there by the billionaire pedophile ruling class to put her in a key position to manage this story when it comes out. Vicky Ward's family was threatened. She just heard her.
I was in hiding. So I'm like, I have a problem with her.
Yeah,
but,
I can't blame you.
She told well, you'll see in this drawing that I did about them that I'm telling you and David Icke, seriously, the 2 of you, inspired this drawing. And it's going to be on the Netflix documentary, and then Daily Beast is doing a report on it too, because it's just the coolest story. I don't know where it came from, Whitney. I don't know if it's because of radiation, but I was like, man, that's the best thing I've ever made. It is It tells, I call it the diagram for the FBI, and it tells the whole story about these guys, and it's really powerful.
So I just wanted to share that with you. I've talked about putting that clip on there for a while, but I just wanted to show you. That's just one snippet of a 3+ hour conversation that Whitney Webb had with Maria Farmer about Vicky Ward and how evil and sinister she is back in 2002. Again, Maria Farmer came forward in 96, and the head of the FBI under Clinton did nothing. And according to Maria Farmer, was worse. Les Wexner, who was the real head of the snake, who was above Epstein, basically. You see how expendable Epstein was? Like, uh-oh, he's going to expose us. We got to get him out of there. So that's another reason why this corporate media, who owns it? Out of shadows, we've talked about it. When I talk about the 6 media companies that they control show business, Vanity Fair, and we think they're all there. Well, Vanity Fair and Sports Illustrated are completely opposite ends of the spectrum, or ESPN and Vanity Fair, completely 2 different worlds. No. ESPN's owned by Disney. Disney owns ABC. I'm sure Vanity Fair is owned by one of the big corporations. But you remember that Amy Rohrbach, I showed you that video, how she had an interview with Virginia Roberts 3 years ago, had the whole Epstein thing, and they were told her to bury it because they got threats from the British royal, from Buckingham Palace, threatened you'll never get access to our, prince blah 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 marriage, whatever. This one's having a baby and these 2 are getting married. Who cares? Yep. And I told you, the head of ABC, wife, was friends with Ghislaine Maxwell. Ghislaine Maxwell's friends with Vicky. Do you see how it's all connected? I'm just showing you these little slivers, but then I'm showing you the sliver how it plugs into the whole thing. And that's why the media hasn't called out Joe Biden for him being a rapist. They're not calling out his dementia. When they, it's not that the corporate media is suddenly doing their job. It's because that's when Hillary Clinton, who with the Podesta emails and had been on Epstein's plane twice, seems like I'm going all over the place. No, I'm showing you the map, and it's a big, ugly, scary map, but it's all connected. Hillary was on his plane twice, Epstein planes twice. The Clintons were on, Bill was on 26 times. They went to his compound in New Mexico. We know that for certain. Probably went to the Virgin Islands. That's why when the Podesta emails came out and had all this weird, creepy shit talking about pizza and spirit cooking with Maria Abramovich, who's like an open, like, Satanist, it gets creepy and weird. And it's so weird, it's easy for regular people to go, no, that's too awful. I don't want to believe it. It's like watching a Saw movie or something. No. It's all connected, and Vicky Ward is just a part of that. And we're talking about it. Everyone's talking about COVID-19. Okay, it's big, it's important, it's affecting all of our lives. But no one's talking about Epstein, except me, Whitney Webb, a couple other people, Jason Burmis, Tim Dillon. Only a handful of us are talking about it. I'm sure I know there's more. I haven't named all of them. Forgive me if I missed anybody. And there's people out there doing more work on it than I am. But that's what we're doing. I'm connecting the dots for you to show you how evil the ruling class is and how utterly corrupt the media is. And the 2 parties are completely corrupt. General strike. Unionize. What does unionization have to do with Epstein, Graham? This is how we undermine the ruling class. If every McDonald's worker and every Amazon worker, everybody who works at Disney or whatever, everybody at Walmart, everybody at Target, millions of employees said, nope, this is how we get our power back. This is how we get our country back. And this is how we ultimately smoke out these billionaire, pedophile, sex trafficking, evil monsters. Thanks for watching. You're all political vigilantes. You're all making God great again. Shave your knuckles for justice. Hey everybody, like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell notification button and the subscribe button, even if you've done it before, because they're unsubscribing, many of you, every day. Watch the ads all the way through. If you click skip ad, I don't get paid. Also, support us at patreon.com/Graham Elwood or rockfin.com/Graham Elwood. Rockfin.com is a blockchain cryptocurrency platform. All my videos are on Rockfin ad-free. Thanks for watching.